subscribe and, you know, like the video. Dr. Mike compares bodybuilding to obesity is the same level of unhealthiness. I would go so far as to say bodybuilding is more unhealthy than obesity, I think, depending on what level of... Because, like, obesity doesn't mean automatically... Obesity is not an automatic death sentence at, like, 40. Okay? I think steroids are probably... Depending on the severity of your obesity. Obviously, if you're, like, 600 pounds, then, yeah, you're more unhealthy than a bodybuilder, but
3/4 of America.
Exercise scientist critiques RFK's controversial health claims. Oh yeah, Dr. Mike came after RFK. Why do you follow this and not a sport like arm wrestling? What? I don't really follow it that much. I just know a little bit about it because it's fascinating and because I work out. That's it. I don't actively follow it. I mean, look, I think these guys are artists, okay? They are self-sacrificing for something, for a cause greater than themselves. Look at this man. Look at what he's done to his life. Look at what he's done to his body. Why? In order to prove a point, okay? This man is 23 goddamn years old. That is insane.
One more most muscular.
What's the point? Are you kidding me? To die for a cause bigger than yourself.
There we go.
That's the point.
Oh, okay. All right. Let's get out of here and not get into trouble.
What's the cause? To be brought. This is the cause. You're looking at it, dude. What do you mean? What's the cause? Look at him. The point is to be unimaginably, unfathomably jacked. To push this vessel that you have on God's green earth to its maximum potential. That's it. That's it. And nothing but that. Pushing humanity beyond what we previously thought we were capable of. Look at this thing. I don't even want to call him a human being. Look at him. 2X Pimpy in real life. A man who has actually peaked so hard that it is physically impossible for him to shave his face. Think about that. This is peak body dysmorphia. This is like thinspo for dudes. First of all, thinspo can be for dudes too. Imagine using that time and energy towards something actually purposeful. Clearly it takes a lot of time and energy to get to this point. Yeah. That's not peak performance though. This guy's not fast, has no stamina, isn't as strong as he could be. I'm sorry, but far beyond peak. You guys are such goddamn losers, dude. Oh my God. You're such nerds. Shut up. Yes, I know. He's not like, he's not an athlete. Okay, we're talking about dudes who literally look like pugs, okay? We're talking about dudes who look like experimental dog breeds. Why do leftists angry and nerdy about body fitness law? Yeah, you're talking about a dude who literally stands up for like 4.5 minutes and is winded. This is sculpting your body to look a certain way, okay? Jesus Christ.
Ooh, good.
Fuck.
Good.
5 plates. I mean, that's not that crazy, but still.
Come on. Good. 5. There you go. Good. Come on.
Look at his calves, dude. We're creating a brand new human shapes out here, and nerds are talking about your mobility will be severely limited like that. I know. Repping 485 is not crazy. Yeah, for someone of his size and his strength, it's not that crazy. Dude, what do you mean repping 405? Bradley Martin can do this. What are you talking about? Look at how much stronger he is than Bradley Martin.
Good. Go.
Just so you understand, it's 495 and I can rep, you know, I can rep 90 pounds lighter than this.
Finish. Good.
No, you can't. I literally go to my Instagram. Oh, wait, was he doing oh, I thought he was doing regular deadlifts. Oh my God, I'm so sorry. Was he doing RDLs? Oh, that's why he was doing 485. Oh my God, I was not paying attention.
Get angry now. Come on.
My God. Oh my God. Okay, I didn't understand. Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God. That is insane. Oh my God. Oh my God. Bro, thought he was deadlifting. I was like, that's not that impressive. What the for a guy his size? Oh my Lord. I wasn't even paying attention.
2, good.
Oh, he's doing full motion stiff leg RDLs with 495. No belt. Jesus Christ. Bro said it's spine day. Okay. This is an insane lift. I was so wrong. I apologize. When you deadlift, your knees are supposed to buckle, okay? A stiff-legged Romanian deadlift means that your legs basically stay straight the entire time. As in, he's doing a much more restricted hamstring activation. And I didn't even notice. Bro, Hasan is turned on right now. Yeah, I am. That is an insane weight to put up. That is an insane weight to pull at 495. It is actually not an insane weight to pull at all for a man of his size and his level of experience in terms of deadlifting, which is why I was shocked, not realizing that he was doing a straight up RDL. His body is so misshaped that you couldn't even tell where his waist began and his knees ended. Like, look, do you see this? This is a full-blown Romanian deadlift, completely controlled on the eccentrics at 495. Is he on steroids? Come on, chatter. That's crazy. His legs are out of control. It is actually insane. Holy, listening to chatters discuss lifting might actually annoy me more than some of the EU chatters discuss Europolitics. Y'all got to start hitting the gym. You really do have to start hitting the gym, chat. Seriously. Obviously, you're never going to get to this level, so don't worry about that, okay? It's always funny when people are like, oh, but if I'll start looking like this. Yeah, stiff-legged deadlift. Jesus Christ. Tries to be like, oh, I don't want to lift because I'll look like this. No, you won't, okay? I promise. You will never look like that. I can give you a 100% certainty that you will never, ever, ever look like this, okay? Never. This man has dedicated his entire life and has taken years and years of experimental cocktails to be able to look like this. Don't worry. If that's a fear you have, you will never look like him. You're the same as any other wow chatter talking about raid stats. I did 10 sets of reading feminist literature and 20 reps of listening, not talking. Thank you very much. You just caused one person in here to do it just to spite you. You will never do it. You will never look like him. It's okay. It's probably not. It's probably for the best. It's so funny to think like, dude, looking at this guy and thinking like, oh, I could be just like that if I worked hard enough is like thinking you will play basketball like LeBron, okay? You watched a basketball game and you were like, yeah, I can shoot like Steph Curry. Anyway, but yeah, he is the mutant for a reason. Yeah, it's like looking at Faker and being like, I could play League of Legends like that. I will just commit elaborate fraud to achieve this goal. No amount of... this is the thing. You can't fake this. That's the problem. Okay? You can't fake this. There's just nothing you can do about it. Sam Sulek has done a horrifying amount of steroids to get to the level, and he is like obviously nowhere near the level of Nick Walker, the mutant. And he's competing on a different thing anyway. But still. What do you mean he faked it too? He ain't natty? Absolutely zero people think that this person was ever natty. What are you talking about? This is one of the funniest things. Like, you have to be existing on a different plane of existence if you were to ever even suggest that Nick Walker is natty. What are you talking about? Guys, like 90% of Hollywood celebrities to achieve the physiques that they achieve, all the way from what's his face, Hugh Jackman playing Wolverine to Thor, like they are not natty. Okay, wake up. Most of the physiques that you see on television, most of the physiques that you see on on Men's Health magazines and shit like that, and especially also on TikTok, none of them are natty. There are varying degrees. Stop making fun of me for saying Wolverine, okay? Yes. It's the one thing. It's the one thing that I sometimes f up. You know this. W's and V's, okay? Shut up. Shut up. ESL. It's my one ESL thing. Come on. Obviously, Love and Thunder, Hemsworth isn't natty, but in general, none of them are because they get jacked in like 4 months. Yeah, that's part of it too, for sure. But a lot of those physiques are also unachievable without, you know, medicine, you know, the good vaccine, okay? The good vaccine. Not the bad one that RFK hates, but the good one that RFK loves. Speaking of RFK and also natty or not conversations, let's listen to friend of the show, Dr. Mike Israetel.
American adults are obese or overweight, and the solution is always a shot or a pill that somebody is going to cash in on.
RFK.
This is amazing. I'm really excited for this because so many of the fitness people that I'm around love RFK, okay? But they also love Dr. Mike Israetel. So him going after RFK will, I think, truly cause a fissure in the fitness world because a lot of people love Dr. Mike Israetel and see his word as basically religious doctrine, okay? I'm not even kidding. And they love RFK because RFK is jacked.
Has a Googleable net worth of roughly $15 billion. They will not be taking accusatory notions of someone cashing in being a bad thing from a multimillionaire and not a Kennedy. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Hey folks, Dr. Mike here for RP Strength. I have been a longtime professor of exercise and sports science, and I am a competitive bodybuilder and Blacky Belch, which is Brazilian for black belt in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. Cool. And today, I will be reviewing the various health and food and fitness claims and practices of a Mr. Dr. RFK. Because if you're a lawyer, you're a Juris Doctorate. So there you go, Dr. RFK. And he's got all sorts of fun things to say. Some of them are a little wacky. Some of them are less wacky. Some of them are actually quite good. Let's dive in and see if we can't science the living crap out of this.
I've literally never heard someone refer to a lawyer as doctor because they have a JD. That's crazy.
Roll camera.
Today, I want to talk about the biggest myth of the national obesity epidemic.
That's not a thing. I mean, technically, he's not wrong. I just think it's funny, but, you know.
Color me excited. Let's see if we align on the myths.
The biggest myth is that if you're obese or overweight, it's your fault.
Yeah. This is a complex topic. There are 3 groups of factors that are very likely responsible for almost all of obesity. The least impactful factor are things like nutritional education, things like, do you live in a food desert or not? And many other very small ones that people talk about all the time. And that's sort of like 20% eats up all of the other small factors. There are 2 big factors that I think account for up to 80% of the entire obesity epidemic. One factor is that some people have a higher than average genetic, mostly food drive.
Okay.
And that food drive.
No. Those are the most impactful. What? No. I don't think. I personally think the most impact. Dude, this is such a funny conversation because he's not saying that food literacy and access, etc., are not impactful. He's just saying out of the 3 main factors, it's the least impactful. And this is an issue that everyone has their own personal pet peeves with and have their own personal opinion with. If you were to ask me, what do I always say? One of the most impactful aspects of obesity for me is walkability in cities and a car reliant infrastructure, and also the subsidies that we offer certain types of food and the pervasive lobbying influence over food regulation and food safety in general. So, like, I think part of the reason why I feel that way, of course, is because, you know, that's also another thing that I care about, right? Like, there are many invisible ways in which people stay relatively leaner in certain countries over others. And that's because of those reasons, right? Like it's not like there isn't, economic inequality or food deserts in England or other England's not even a good example, but like in poorer countries overall, they still exist. But like if the structural differences that I just described don't exist in those countries, if people are walking more frequently, for example, they are less likely to be obese.
Is what allows them to find meaning in chasing down tasty foods, eating tasty foods, really liking it, and eating more of them. If you don't have very high food drive, it's difficult for you to become obese because you're just not that excited about eating. If you have very high food drive and the environment is such that you have lots of money relative to the world around you, and food is relatively convenient and cheap and easily available, and doesn't require tons of hours to make, then you have a situation where you can kind of checkbox all of your desires and food drive, and then that's an easy way to get obese. So food drive is huge. And if we can reduce food drive, which we can with some kinds of bariatric surgery and with modern anorectic drugs like Ozempic and stuff, that's a really, really, really big deal.
Because at the end of the day, obesity is quite literally caused by putting more fuel in your body than your body is burning. That's it. In the simplest terms, everybody always gets mad when I say this or anyone else says this, but like calories in, calories out, even though it can lead to unhealthy eating disorders for sure, is quite literally just the truth, right? This is such a dumb smart guy take. It's not. It's just the truth. The difference, however, is all of these other factors that no one really, I guess, considers when talking about calories in, calories out. For someone like myself, for example, my metabolism, regardless of my muscle mass, because your metabolism is dictated by a multitude of different factors, like your burn rate, your daily burn rate is dictated by a bunch of different factors. One of it is the lean muscle mass that you have. How much you're using your brain can also factor into it. How fidgety you are also factors into it. And how much you burn in the process of eating to actually use the food that you're eating also factors into it. This is, I guess, like in the most reductive ways, this is how you explain like the amount of fuel that you need for regular operation. And then also, obviously, whether you're sedentary or not and your daily activity. So having said all of that, as someone who quite literally has a incredibly slower metabolism than someone of my size and especially of my muscle mass, I can tell you that it's still calories in, calories out, but that factor still remains. This is precisely the reason why I eat at a deficit, and my deficit is insanely low in comparison to someone else that would be a 33-year-old man who happens to have my level of my level of daily exercise and is basically doing the same shit. For me to be at a deficit, I need to eat less than 2,000 calories a day on 2 days of the week, and then under 2,400 calories a day for the rest of the week. Okay? That is insane. And I have to do that while still maintaining at least 220 grams plus of protein every single day. This is why my diet is the way that it is. This is why I eat a shit ton of grilled chicken. Okay? Are you okay while working out? That's crazy. Well, it is what it is. It's just the reality. But my point is, if I can maintain that deficit, which I can, and I do, I have lost all of this weight, right? That's why I'm a much leaner person now. Negative net calories without functional movement leads to atrophy. It's not beneficial even for people dealing with obesity. They're just not losing fat when on GLP-1 drugs. They're losing muscle mass and bone density as well. Yes, that is also true. This is part of the reason why I never even thought about using Ozempic. How do you get that much protein? Because I'm struggling. It's super easy for me. I love chicken. Yes, and you're not wrong. It is 40% of my daily caloric intake is protein. Sometimes more than 40% of my daily caloric intake is protein. And I do have to supplement with other additional supplements like fiber and whatnot in an effort to make sure that I have enough of the good stuff. Like 2 days ago, it was 45% of my entire daily intake was protein at 260 grams of protein, 42 grams of fat, which was 17%, and then 38 grams of 38% of carbohydrates at 216 grams. So I went way over on my protein consumption on that day. I went over by 38 grams of protein on my protein consumption on that day, and I actually stayed around 2,000 calories for that day. Think about that. So how often do you eat dessert? Every day. I eat dessert every day. I love dessert. You can do all of this within a incredibly low deficit. I do. Didn't Jeff Nippert say you can't go over your protein? Like there's no limit. Am I wrong? Well, I mean, there's no hard limit. Like there's a bottom. You can't go under a certain level of protein. Everyone's different, but you certainly should not go under a certain level of protein. But if you go way above and beyond, it is what it is. Some days I eat less protein, some days I eat more. So that's why I try to, manage it that way.
You can also modulate food drive with food choices, a little bit more difficult to do, but definitely possible. So it's all the rest, food drive, and then conscientiousness is a trait. It's one of the Ocean Big Five personality traits. Everyone has a little bit, a decent amount, or a lot of conscientiousness on average. And conscientiousness is kind of like, how do you think of you and the world around you? Are you more meticulous and careful and organized? Do you plan ahead? Do you care about your health? Are you willing to delay gratification to do that?
Okay, I wouldn't say this is the most significant factor contributing to obesity as an epidemic, because it would imply that over the years that like America has become less conscientious, or that their elevated genetic food drive has just increased for some reason, because it's not like America was always as obese as it is now. And I would say that the factors are structural way more than it is like down to the person's individual takes.
Not so fun things now, like eat with really good healthy foods you might not want. You want pizza rolls, but you're like, I know that's bad for me, so I'm going to put that off and eat that only occasionally. I'm going to make good choices. I'm going to follow a diet. I'm going to stick to a training plan, et cetera, et cetera. Trait conscientiousness has such a huge effect on that for whatever amount of food drive you have, if you have moderate even food drive, high degree of conscientiousness can keep you free from obesity, because you just stick to the stuff that doesn't make you obese. If your food drive is insanely high, even high degree of conscientiousness can't keep up with that. And it just takes so much energy and so much stress. You might not be able to, you'll still be overweight. If you have low food drive, you're probably not going to be obese in any case, because you just don't eat enough. You guys all have that friend that like has a chip and then was like, I'm good. And you're like, what?
Yes, I do. I hate them. People who are like, dude, you don't understand. I can't gain weight. I had like 5,000 calories yesterday. And then you look at what they're eating and it's like, dog, you literally just had one hamburger for lunch. No fries on the side. You literally took off half the shit that was in the hamburger. No bacon on the burger, no avocado slice, no egg on the burger. And you're over here like talking about how many calories you're consuming. No milkshake either. Get the out of here, okay? No, you're not eating enough. That's it. You're just not eating enough. You're not eating enough. And I'm jealous, okay? You're not eating enough and I'm jealous. I wish I could stop myself. I wish I could have one chip and be done. I wish I could have. The worst is pizza. The worst is pizza. Motherfuckers who can eat 2 slices of pizza and be done with it, I think you are the devil. I think there is something wrong with you, okay? I'm going to be honest with you. If you can eat 2 slices of pizza and stop eating pizza at that point, I think we are not the same type of organism. We are not living on the same planet. We are not the same type of organism. It's literally cheese and bread, okay? It is the easiest thing to consume. It demands you to eat the entire thing, okay? It's just sitting there. It's going to get cold. Actually, it's even good when it's cold, okay? How have they made such an invention? If you are the type of person who's like, no, I'm good, 2 slices and I'm good. If you could stop at 2 slices and not eat the entire pizza, I don't know how you do that. Okay? I don't know how you can stop at 2 slices. I'm not even going to bring up the 1 slice people, because I don't even think they're people. You're a lizard. If you can eat 1 slice of pizza and be done with it, you're a lizard. If you can eat 2 slices of pizza and be done with it, you're weird. Maybe not the same species, but definitely, maybe you're not an alien, okay? I don't get it, but that's just me. Don't say discipline. Shut up. That is not discipline. It's magic, Okay. Anyone that says, oh, it's discipline, shut the up. Okay. That is not discipline. It is an entirely separate thing. I do not want to hear that this is some really good, this is something that you worked hard to achieve. Like, you. No, you didn't. You did not work hard to achieve that. Okay. You did not work hard to achieve that. It's privilege and you should know it. Yeah. The type of people that eat, like the type of people whose home you go to and they got the same bag of chips for a week. What are you doing? How is that possible? You know when sometimes you get a order of chips and they send you those little clips? What's that for? For the longest time, I didn't even understand it. What do you mean? A clip? What am I supposed to do with this? Am I supposed to eat the clip? Why are you giving me a clip? If I open a bag of chips, I'm going to eat the bag of chips. That's what it's for. What the do you mean there's a clip? What is that? Who is that for? I don't understand it. Who is eating a bag of chips not to completion and going, that's enough for me, gotta clip it? I'll take it one step further. There's those like weird TikTok ads that come up sometimes where it's not even a clip. It's a way to like cut the bag of chips and then automatically reclose it. And it's like, who is having this big of a problem not completing a bag of chips that they had to go out and purchase a goddamn thing that they found on the TikTok shop to cut the bag of chips, to like cut it and then reclose it? It does not make any sense. Anyway, let's get back to Dr. Mike Israetel.
How do you have just one? That's just what they were born into. But if you have relatively low conscientiousness, like you're kind of just YOLOing your whole life, and you have a high food drive, which means like you like to eat a lot of really tasty foods and a lot of them. And in our current environment, in the entire modern world, there's so much ubiquitously available, convenient, super delicious food that is high in calories. You have low conscientiousness and high food drive, you're almost certainly going to be obese. And that right there describes the entire reason approximately for why anyone of a given person is or isn't obese. It's a combination of some other factors which are important, and then massive contributor of food drive, massive contributor of conscientiousness to modify how you express that food drive. That's really the big thing. And I'll talk about it a little bit.
My fiance keeps unfinished bags of chips for 3 to 4 weeks. You don't have a fiance. You have an alien invader. Okay, I'm sorry to break it to you, chatter. That is a different species, okay, that came here to planet Earth to basically take over. Good luck, okay? Your fiance, your future wife, is not a human being, but a alien. If you can keep a bag of chips for 3 to 4 weeks, I don't think we are living on the same planet, okay? You came from a different planet on a spaceship. That's insane.
But why obesity used to be, with roughly similar degrees of conscientiousness and similar degrees of food drive, why generations ago obesity was hardly ever a problem. I'll just say it now. It's because over time, people, on average, have gotten so much wealthier, especially poorer people. The bottom fifth of all the poorest Americans in any 5-year time span have been getting wealthier on average compared to all the products and services they could buy. Used to be in the 1950s that if you were bottom 20% of poor America, there's lots of convenient, fun foods at the store that you really could not afford. And so you just didn't consume them, and you just did not develop obesity because you can either consume them hardly at all or certainly in enough quantity to make you obese. Nowadays, in the 2020s, our poorest people in the United States.
No, I don't agree with this. That's not true. There's definitely still food that was easily accessible and consumable. Maybe not to the same degree. Like maybe there wasn't the same diversity of choice as exists now, but there was still plenty of calorically dense food that you could easily consume. You could easily consume in the 50s as well, regardless of your financial status. He's not saying that poor people are wealthier. He's technically saying that like even if you're a poorer person in the United States of America in 2025, you have access to like goods and commodities now that a rich person had access to in the 50s only, which to a certain degree is correct, but it doesn't matter because like high calorie food was still pervasive even back then. Like food in the 50s was ass, bruh. I mean, you're not wrong, but that's not what we're talking about. We're not talking about food taste. We're talking about chatters. Do you think that healthy food tastes bad and bad food, like, unhealthy food tastes good, and that's why people get fat? Are you stupid? It has everything to do with caloric density. Okay. It's just calories. Okay. That's it. It's calories. More people were rural back then. You didn't have access to 9 different fast food chains within a mile. The proliferation of unhealthy food started in the 50s. Fast food was not a thing then. So yeah, food quality was way better. I would go so far as to say it wasn't that it was like more expensive. I think that it was, I don't know if it was like access to higher calorically dense food was like it really opened up the floodgates. I'm sure that played a role in it, obviously, because food processing and the production of food has significantly improved since then. But once again, why not look at all of these other countries that also had the same exact technological advancements? Why have they not been impacted in the same way? Do you see what I'm saying? Other countries fat too? Yes, everyone has gotten fatter.